Well, thank you for tuning in again to our weekly Foodsday Talks, hosted by me, Emily Oshman, and sponsored by WHP Studios, private studio personal trainers in Andersonville, Chicago. Visit the link in our bios or website to sign up for free nutrition or fitness consultations. Today we have myself, Emily Oshman, registered dietitian, and Will Harlow, sports coach and certified personal trainer. Hey, Will, how's it
Hey,
going?
what's up, Mike? Good to see you again.
Yeah, big holiday coming up next
Happy
week. I know.
holiday, Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. I know we
Sure.
wanted to talk about that today, kind of after we're getting prepared for that holiday this week.
Yeah, we're both going to Wisconsin, right? My family's in Oregon, Madison, Wisconsin, and so I'm going to be going up on Thursday, saying hi to my parents. And
Awesome.
where's your family at?
I'm actually in the Burlington area, so
Okay.
I'll be spending the day alone and then heading over to my fiance's family for the day. So yeah, be a good time. So yeah, let's talk about this upcoming holiday. Is there anything that you hear, from your clients maybe that you're kind of questioning?
Yeah, the holidays are always tricky, right? And I think everyone's been saying that for a lot of years with exercise and food and all of
Mm,
this. The big thing that I hear is like this half this kind of half comment of, well, I got to pay for that. I'm gonna have to pay for that big meal. Um, and I think a major theme of what we're doing is trying to change that thought or change that statement that comes out of people's psyche or heart of like you don't have to pay for a meal. You're not doing you don't have to go do that 5K in the morning to pay for a Thanksgiving dinner with your family. That's not the way it works. But in your line of work as a dietitian, I'm sure you talk about triggers around the holidays. And so what have you learned? What has helped your clients? What helps what kind of tips and um, I don't know, reframing, have you offered up with your people?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been having a lot of conversations this week, kind of, leading up to this holiday celebration. You know, what are the common things that I've been hearing is, should I eat a regular meal like before Thanksgiving?
Interesting.
Like you said about the big 5Ks in the morning. I do them sometimes. I like the donation part about it, like donating food and doing a 5K. But it shouldn't be used as a way to earn your meal. So some tips that I typically like to share is, Thanksgiving, maybe dinner's 4. Okay. So that's, waking up, having breakfast, maybe you're having lunch, depending on your comfortness, your travel times, maybe it's more of a couple snacks here and there. Really making sure that you're having something in you and not waiting till 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 2 or 6, to have that big meal. Because what happens is if we're not having something ahead of time, by the time you get to that meal, your body is so hungry at that point that you're going to go through much more than you probably can physically tolerate. And then you kind of get that uncomfortable, bloating, pressure, pain, however your body experiences it, you get that after that meal. And then all of a sudden, that guilt comes into play of, oh, I shouldn't have had that. How could I do that? You know, but it's really ourselves that are setting us up for that cycle of, we're restricting in the morning so that we can have this larger meal. But it's not, it's actually not recommended to do that. Have your meal in the morning, have maybe your snacks if you need to in the afternoon, and then having your lunch or your dinner at your family's house, enjoying that company, enjoying those foods that we don't have the whole year. Maybe you do, but most of us aren't having a full Thanksgiving meal, even once a month. So, really allowing yourself to enjoy that time, enjoy that meal without having that guilt associated with it.
Yeah, like trying to stay on, a regular schedule or a consistent schedule, right? Like,
Mhm.
um, and I've certainly done that myself. I can certainly, um, comment on that. Like, oh, we got the big lunch coming up, or I got the big dinner coming up. I'm just gonna have a banana and coffee for breakfast and then wait till I get then, it's like it's it's uh it's a normal day, right? It's a normal day of eating. It's not, you're not a competitive, you're not going to like the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. You
Yeah.
are you are eating a normal meal that just happens to be on Thanksgiving, that happens to be wonderful, surrounded by your family. Eat, eat until you feel like you are comfortably satiated, like you don't have to treat it like a special thing. It's the special part is the social aspect of it, is being with your friends and family, being around, cooking together, spending time together. Yeah, don't let that, try not to let that guilt get in there. Try not to let that paying for a meal with exercise or with movement. Try not to think about that. And it's okay. It's okay if you want to have an extra piece of turkey. It's okay if you want to have some more
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, if you do, maybe you really love grandma's pumpkin pie.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Maybe that's the thing. You're like, oh, I'm already full from dinner, but that pumpkin pie looks good. Yeah, you might overeat, and that's okay. As long as, the next day you're not feeling that guilt of, oh, I overate yesterday, so now I have to slow it down today. Just don't worry about that. Just get back on track with how you would normally be eating. If you overeat, it's not a bad thing. Just you probably enjoyed it. So I always, say just don't try to pay for it either before, don't try to pay for it afterwards. Just enjoy the time, enjoy the food, enjoy celebrating, a meal or just time with family.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Any other any other like topics that come up around this time, or any other tips or
the only other conversation that I've been having a lot lately is comments that people are making at holidays. I think that's the other big thing. A lot of people will comment on what you're eating, on what they're eating. It's okay to set those boundaries at the table. There's always going to be someone on a diet or consider comparing their meal to everyone else's, and I know it's family, but it's okay to say, hey, let's enjoy the holiday. Let's not worry about what's on our plates or what's not on our plates or who's eating what. It's okay to set that boundary and just enjoy the holiday for what it is, enjoy being in that moment, and just respecting people for their own boundaries. That's the big thing.
Yeah, and hopefully if you're watching this, hopefully we can be part of the movement that pushes that forward, because
Absolutely.
right, I've definitely everyone's heard that. Everyone's heard a little offhanded comment by Uncle Tim or whatever, and so yeah, you gotta enjoy the time, enjoy the holiday, enjoy the meal, enjoy everything, enjoy sitting around afterward, enjoy going for a walk if you want,
And
whatever.
enjoy watching the
Yeah,
Packers
yeah,
and the
right.
Lions.
I don't know about enjoying the Packers. But yeah, so talk a little bit more about having the schedule. We talked about trying to stay steady.
Yeah.
But like talk a little bit more about what that does internally. Like what is going on to your body when you do keep a regular schedule, like a regular spaced out schedule of caloric intake versus when you don't.
Yeah, absolutely. So what happens is really the biggest thing we want to look at is our blood sugar. So if we're going a few hours, maybe you're skipping breakfast. Okay. So your blood sugar is already pretty low from the night before because most of us don't eat in our sleep. So your blood sugar, your body's keeping you alive. Now we're not fueling it. So it's dipping low. So the minute we're having, some large meal, usually Thanksgiving is pretty carb heavy. It's going to spike back up. And it's going to spike, and then you're going to get that drop again once your body starts counteracting that. And that's when people start to feel real tired, and they're like, oh, it's the turkey. It's not the turkey, it's your body keeping you alive. But you're going to have another drop, so your sugar's going to drop again, and then a couple hours later you go, oh gosh, I'm hungry again. So then you're going to eat more, and so it's going to spike back up. Whereas if you have, you wake up, you have your breakfast, whether it's like banana, yogurt, eggs, toast, whatever, combination of things you want to have, as long as you're having, a meal that has some carbs, some protein, some fat in it, your blood sugar is going to stay pretty stable. When you have your meal, it might go up a little bit, but it's not going to spike as much as it would if you're skipping a meal and then going right into it. And then you're not going to have that crash that's going to make you want to eat again. So that's why it's important to have those regular meals and snacks in there, because you're also going to feel better. You're not going to feel drowsy. You're not going to feel tired. You're not going to be like, when is the turkey going to be done, because I'm starving. So those are all things to keep in mind, that it's very hard on your body to have those spikes. And even if you can't physically see that happening, most of us can feel it happening. Hopefully that answers.
Yeah, yeah. No. Very good. And then from no, I guess that's good. Yeah, and then cut right there.
So yeah.
All right. Sorry, let's get out of it. I was looking at the clock. I'm trying to get you up by 1:30.
Nope, that's okay.
All right. So cut this little bit right here, and then yes, have that nice steady, consistent meal, and keep your caloric intake nice and steady throughout the day. Try not to spike it high and low. It's good for movement, it's good for exercise, it's good for just general life habits. Nice and steady, middle of the road, well balanced all the time is the boring and real answer in life.
Exactly. And don't feel like you have to earn the meal. That's for sure.
Yeah. Do not earn it, right? That's the name of today's episode, is you don't have to earn it. It's Thanksgiving, it's a celebration, have fun.
Exactly. You earn your meal just by being alive.
Yeah, so. You're here, you need it. Yep. So there's that. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll probably do another one around the upcoming December holidays also. It's a challenging time. We're here. We're for you. We want to support you. So, yeah.
We see it. We hear it. We've been there.
Right. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everybody.
You too.
And thank you for the talks, and we will see you. We're probably gonna skip next week, but we will see you in December.
So yes, happy Thanksgiving again. Take care. Bye-bye.